Well, I got a little story I want to share with y'all, and I think it will kind of help us out a little bit on kind of the way we perceive giving offering at sometimes. So I'm going to ask my wife to come up here, and it's actually the story of how we first met. It's actually kind of funny. Well, what it was is that she was in college and she was on a worship travel team. She came to a church and they did a service, and she had gone to this church before she went to college. And one of my friends, he wanted to ask her if she'd go on a blind date with me. And so he basically called me over to introduce ourselves. So this is kind of how what happened. So he calls me over and he's like, "Hey Jesse, come meet Carol." Hey, what's up, girl? Yeah, it wasn't nothing like that actually. It wasn't like that at all. But this is how it really went down. Hey, I'm Jesse. And I ran away. That's exactly how it was. But I'm going to redo it, but I want to let y'all know what I was actually thinking in my head as I was coming up to her. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. This is crazy. If she ever found out about who I used to be before I became a Christian, she would never go out with me. I don't even know why I'm shaking her hand. I can't even look her in the eye. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, I'm not even worth it. Okay, yeah, bye. You know what? To me, sometimes that's the way we perceive tithe. Oh, thank you, babe. You did great. That's the way we see tithing. We feel like we need to be like perfect. And when we come to God on Sundays, we just sit in the back and we have like our eyes closed. And it took a lot for me just to reach my hand out and to greet her. And see that I not just greet her with my hand. When you do that, when you open up your hand, you leave yourself a little vulnerable because you're exposing yourself. And I didn't lift up my face to see her in the eyes because then she kind of, I would have felt like she would have saw the real me. She would have saw how excited I was, and maybe she would have been like, "Oh man, this is not gonna work. He's too excited. He's a little, I don't remember what the word was. Well, anyways, so but when we come to God with our tithes and offerings, we don't ask God to do anything with them. Sometimes we hold back on giving because we work so hard for the money, and it's a heart thing. And we don't want to be vulnerable to God because we just worked 40 hours, whatever job we did. And it's really, really hard to give that 10% because it's not just money we're giving to God. We're actually giving our hearts. We're giving our hopes and our dreams because I still need this X amount of money to make it for my bills because when we look into our bank account, it's not there. Because when I go to church, I have to give him an offering. I have to extend my hand. And when I do that, I'm not just giving him money, I'm giving him my heart. And I'm exposing myself. And sometimes that just hurts so much because we're looking in the future. And in this unpredictable world, we don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this, that God does know. And he knows exactly what you need. So when we open up our hearts and when we extend our hands, we're extending our love to him. We're extending our hope to him. We're extending our trust in him because he can take care of us just like a good father would. All you dads, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You want the very best for your children, and he wants the very best for you today. So with that being said, I want to just encourage you today that if you feel that kind of you need to be perfect, you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, I'm letting you know it's going to be okay. That you can trust him, that you can put your hope in him. And I guarantee you he's going to love you through no matter what you're going through.